Ford Field in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Pix 11 Sports presents New York Mets baseball. Today, the Mets host the Atlanta Braves. New York Mets baseball is brought to you by the Ford Now sales event. For huge savings, go to buyfordnow.com. By Chase, easy to use Chase technology for whatever you're trying to master. By Cheapo Air, travel the world for less. And by your Lexus dealer, experience the thrill of the Lexus Command Performance Sales event now through March 31st. An absolutely spectacular day down here along the Treasure Coast as we're getting you set for the Mets and the Atlanta Braves. The sun is out, temperature right about 80 degrees, 8 days away from the opener back in New York City. And how about that, Keith Hernandez?
Yeah.
Lookalikes, they love the jersey, and we love having Keith Hernandez alongside up here in the booth. Hi, everybody. Gary Apple alongside the aforementioned Keith Hernandez. Gary Cohen has this day off. There is a bit of injury news to discuss with the Mets. Steven Matz was scheduled to pitch in a minor league game tomorrow. Not going to do that now. He's got tenderness in his elbow. And Juan Lagares in the game yesterday, but then taken out in the third inning. He's got a oblique strain. So as I mentioned, about 8 days away now from the opener. How does this impact the roster, Keith?
Well, it has a major impact. Remember when spring training started, Gary, this was a team that had a large amount of outfielders or overloaded with outfielders. Well, now with Nemo getting hurt with his hamstring and on the DL, trying to nurse that back, he's not going to be ready. And now with Lagares, this really hurts because of his defense. And he was going to go in center field when Spell Granderson. That really hurts the team, but it leaves it now really basically wide open for Michael Conforto. He had a home run the other day. He's had himself a very good spring. He was going down and going to play every day. But now with these injuries, Conforto looks like he's going north along with Ty Kelly, and he's just going to have to stay ready. I'd rather see him get at bats, but he's going to be in the big leagues. He has to be there, and he's going to have to take a lot of extra BP and be ready when called upon.
Well, Steven Matz said he does not believe the elbow is serious, going to try and throw a flat ground tomorrow, so we'll keep a very close eye on that. Matt Harvey is going to be on the mound for the Mets here today, getting set to make his 5th start of the spring. Last time out, he gave up 3 runs in 4 1/3, but he said it was the best he had felt all spring long. So Matt going to be on the mound for the Mets, and Matt Whistler, the young right-hander for the Atlanta Braves. When we come back, Eamon McEnany going to visit with T.J. Rivera. We're back in a moment. Field for the Mets and the Atlanta Braves as we send it down to the third member of our crew today, Eamon McEnany with TJ Rivera.
Thank you, Gary. TJ back with the Mets after an impressive stint with Team Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic. And TJ, obviously you participated in a playoff game in New York City, so you have a high standard for adrenaline. But how would you describe the atmosphere and intensity at the WBC?
Oh, man, it was unbelievable. The group of guys was unbelievable just to be around, period. But the type of baseball they play, the passion they play with, and to be playing for something other than just a team, it was pretty cool. Every pitch meant something. So it was very similar to that wild card game where it was loud, and but I had a blast, and then just the effort those guys give every pitch for their country and for the island was unbelievable.
You hit a home run against Netherlands in the semifinals. How would you describe what your emotions were like rounding the bases in Dodger Stadium for that one?
I don't show much emotion, but I think that team kind of pulled it out of me a little bit. That felt great. I was struggling a little bit at the plate, and to put one on the board there, that feeling was unbelievable, just rounding the bases, and just having those guys support was pretty cool too.
Now back here with the Mets for a few days after the WBC, how would you describe your comfort level around the guys this year after all the experience you picked up last year?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say I'm a little more comfortable this spring than I was last spring. Last spring I was new to the team, and it was my first big league camp as well, so you don't know how to act sometimes. But this spring I've been around a little bit longer, but just to be around these guys, they're the same way. They bring me in, and they've kind of treated me like I was one of the team for a while. So I'm just trying to pick things up, from the veterans and see how they do things, and just trying to help the team in any way possible.
TJ Rivera, appreciate the time. Thank you very much. Gary, let's send it back up to you.
Eamon, we thank you, TJ, as well. When we come back, Matt Harvey going to take the mound. Mets and the Braves just ahead. Start out by Matt Harvey was the best stuff he had seen him have so far this spring. In fact, Matt said he could just tell the ball was coming out better. So we shall see as he gets set to make his fifth start of the spring. Today we got a check of the Braves lineup brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Ender Enciarte, what a Gold Glove season ago. He's going to be in center field leading off. Adonis Garcia at third base batting third. The catcher Tyler Flowers in the cleanup spot. Emilio Bonifacio trying to win a spot on this team is in left field. He is batting eighth, and we're ready to go here. 82 degrees at first state of field and Enciarte, and Matt Harvey pours in strike one.
Well, Enciarte came over in a trade from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and boy, he made a catch at Citi Field, robbing a home run that was just spectacular last season. Good breaking ball from Harvey there. Oh. You can see the spin right there on the outside corner. Good sharp down breaker.
That one misses up high.
And you don't want, I don't want Matt to start worrying about the radar gun out there. I mean, if I would pull the gun off the scoreboard. Just go out and pitch. This is a work in progress coming off the surgery. Serious surgery. I don't want him getting too amped up and pushing it. And you know, he said he threw 97 and he felt great. I'm not worried about velocity.
That last pitch was 97. Here's the 2-2. Sliced foul down the left field line.
He's got some life on the fastball, but you know in the course of a season, if he stays healthy, and look at folks, this is the best shape I've seen Matt Harvey in a couple of years. Look at the waistline. He really is fit. It's a big year for him. And he's a big part of this team going forward.
74 pitches for Matt Harvey. Last time out against the Tigers. And Ciarte skies one out to left field. You want a Cespedes. Goes back, and that's out number one.
And we'll take a quick look at your Met defense. That's brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. That's the starting outfield right there. Bruce, Granderson, Cespedes. On the infield, hey, that could be your opening day lineup right there. Got the big boys in. Pilecki getting some work behind the plate today.
We expect Rene Rivera is going to make the opening day start behind the plate, catching Noah Syndergaard.
Well, the issue is d'Arnaud's throwing, and you know, you steal off the pitcher, and certainly it helps to have a guy that can throw back there, but stolen bases are basically stolen off the pitcher, and the Mets last year were very woeful in that department, holding runners on.
Dansby Swanson, #1 pick in the draft in 2015.
Another
Huge
guy,
part of the rebuild for the Atlanta Braves.
Right. He came over in that big trade, did he not, with Arizona?
Yes, he did.
That was a huge trade.
Shelby Miller, I believe.
Yes. Oh.
Well, John Hart trying to do it again. He's resurrected a couple of franchises, Cleveland and Texas, and looking to do the same thing here with the Atlanta Braves, who won just 68 games a season ago.
Well, he came over with Ciarte, so they got two players right there. Swanson in Ciarte. Ciarte, excuse me.
Not easy.
I know. You're right. Shelby Miller was the big guy in that trade going to Arizona, and he just had an abysmal season last year for the Diamondbacks.
That one's in there for a called strike. Count goes full.
Well, Swanson hit 300 last season for the Braves in 129 at-bats. He was impressive. I think this kid's got a chance to be a real good player, a good hitter.
And takes ball 4 up high. So the Braves have a first inning base runner.
Well, he's got some life on his fastball, Matt does. I'll say that, Gary.
This is going to be his last start down here. He's going to make his final preseason exhibition start against the Army on the 31st. And then we get it going for real on the 3rd. Mets and the Braves open up the season out at Citi Field. Adonis Garcia, the Atlanta third baseman.
Yeah, they've moved him around. They tried him in the outfield. His glove is not his friend, that so to speak, the Cuban.
That's it out in center field. Curtis Granderson starts back and then reels it in for out number 2.
Boy, I just cannot express enough of the unfortunate injury to Juan Lagares. He was such one of the few, the right-hander off the bench, as well as a defensive outfielder, Gold Glover, with Granderson in center field. That's really a tough injury, and I always worry about the obliques. They can take 2 months to heal.
Going to have an MRI tomorrow on that oblique. Tyler Flowers, the Braves catcher. Takes a call, strike one.
If I was playing today, they couldn't get me in that trainer's room and do sit-ups. I didn't do them my whole career, and I never had an oblique.
It worked out okay for you.
I have them, but I never hurt them. They're in there somewhere, hiding.
Matt Harvey didn't walk anybody in his last start in those 4 1/3 innings. He has given up a walk here in the first. Tyler Flowers figures to be the frontline catcher. There goes Swanson, and he slides in safely. A stolen base for Dansby Swanson.
Well, in today's game, the powers to be kind of frown on the stolen base. They don't think it's that important. I disagree. I've had too much experience playing against those Cardinal teams that just put constant pressure on you back in those 80s with all those speedsters that could hit too.
Vince Coleman at the top of that lineup.
Ozzie Smith, William McGee, Tommy Herr. They could all steal bases.
Big thing with Harvey this spring, that curveball has been a little bit inconsistent. The command in general has been an issue. 2-1 to Flowers.
Good pitch. Good fastball.
Once again, hits 96.
He's throwing hard. He certainly is. Four-seamer. Right to the target. Change up.
Count goes full on Tyler Flowers, who's come to camp in great shape this year for the Braves. Played in 83 games a season ago. Missed 6 weeks. He had a broken hand. He and Kurt Suzuki figure to share some of the catching duties for Atlanta. Count is full. Flowers skies one. Just behind home, Plawecki loses the mask and makes the catch for out number 3. So a walk, a stolen base, but nothing else as the Mets come to bat. Mets starting lineup brought to you by the Lexus Command Performance Sales event, and it figures to be the opening day lineup except for the catcher position. Kevin Plawecki is behind the plate today, and he is batting 8th. Jose Reyes at third base in the leadoff spot.
And there's Matt Whistler, the starting pitcher. He's a 5 ERA, too many walks. He gives up a lot of home runs. 26 home runs he gave up last year. in 156 innings. That's you get a stiff neck following those balls. You can throw up gophers like that all the time.
Whistler made 26 starts a season ago, second most on the Braves behind Julio Teheran. Spent some time AAA for about a month and then came back up late, won 3 of his 6 games. Jose Reyes steps in and takes a called strike 1.
Well, Jose is going to start it out fresh this year with the Mets. First full season. Hit .267 last year in 60 games for the Mets and played I thought, a very, very, very good third base.
Well, .326 on base percentage for Jose. I know the Mets would love to see that go up a little bit, but that has not been something that he has done at a considerably higher level in his career. That one's out to center field. Inciarte with the catch, out number 1.
And we'll take a look at your Brave defense. That's also brought to you by your the Tri-State Ford dealers. Inciarte in center. Freeman, you'll notice, is not here at Freddie, or Matt Kemp is usually will be the starting left fielder. They got Brandon Phillips, who's going to play second base this year for the Braves. They got him from Cincinnati, the veteran. This is going to be a team that is going to be, if their pitching holds up, they're going to make some noise. I don't think they're ready for championship caliber play, but they're on the rise. They played real well the second half of the season last year, and they played well for that man right there, Brian Snitker.
Over 40 years in the Braves organization, finally getting a chance. Cabrera slaps one past a diving Adonis Garcia, and a base hit for Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera having a tremendous spring so far, came in hitting .372.
Well, last year he was impressive. Played hurt late in the season. Really showed me something. He is a quality player. Handles the bat from both sides of the plate. I like the fact that the Mets have 3 switch hitters in their lineup.
Certainly gives them versatility from an offensive standpoint, and they love the positional versatility they have from many of their guys defensively as well. That's why TJ Rivera, who we spoke with, Namath did before we got going here today, figures to be an integral part of that bench as Yoenis Cespedes takes a called strike 1.
Well, here we are, Gary, 8 days away from the season starting, and is it 8 days?
8 days, a week from tomorrow.
This is when you want to start feeling it at the plate, so you can just carry it over right into the opening day in the season.
Cespedes hits it hard, dropping in front of Bonifacio, and the Mets have 2 on with 1 out.
Well, Cespedes has had a terrific spring. He's in great shape, as he should be. 4-seam fastball. He's been pulling a lot this spring. They've had to shift on him, and rightly so. But he's really, really been pulling a lot this spring and been successful. He's a hitter. I hope he's not hurt.
The grimace?
Yes.
You know, we've seen him do that before. We saw him the other day. Well, he is.
It looks like he's got a little limp to him.
Yes, he does. Curtis Granderson, who hit 2 home runs against the Marlins on Wednesday. Also singled on Friday. He is sort of testing out that right leg.
Don't need him going down, do we?
That would be tough.
Well, Curtis had the 2 home run game, hitting the cleanup spot. Looks like I'd never thought about Curtis hitting cleanup in this lineup, and I'd like it. Good show, Terry.
Well, he had success last year. He played 23 games hitting cleanup, hit .321 with 6 home runs.
You know, when he first came over, he was a cleanup, and he was a guy in the front of the order for the Yankees. He was unsettled. They put him in that middle of that order, and he was uncomfortable with it. But now he's been in the Met uniform now. This is fourth year.
Fourth year.
He's very comfortable, and he's a veteran.
2-1 pitch hit to second base. Taylor made. That's Peterson to Swanson. On to Tuiasa Sopo. 4-6-3 double play, getting the Braves out of trouble. No scores. We head to the second. Yoenis Cespedes, he appears to be okay.
It's good to have fun. Like to see that camaraderie.
He dealt with a little bit of a tight quad early in camp. Chase Peterson leads it off here. First pitch swinging into left field. Cespedes chases, but it goes out of play.
Peterson was their starting second baseman in 2015. Only played in 115 games last year, but with Brandon Phillips on board now, he's going to be probably their backup bench on the infield. Lifetime 245 hitter. 237, excuse me.
He played in yesterday's game against the Mets, was 0 for 3. As we get a check of some of the changes they've made in Atlanta, and they've brought some veterans in. Bartolo, of course, we know. R.A. Dickey, the former Met. Brandon Phillips, 35, almost 36. Jaime Garcia comes over from the St. Louis Cardinals. Hit on the ground to second base. Walker charges, out number 1.
Brand new stadium in Atlanta this year. Very exciting.
SunTrust Park.
Never have to take that long, horrible bus ride to downtown Atlanta again. I'm very happy about that. Oh, during the week, folks, geez, you're getting that traffic, you could forget it. They say the traffic's going to be bad going out, but it's going in the opposite direction now.
It's out in the suburbs, Cobb County. Mel Rojas Jr., if the name sounds familiar. His father, 13 years in the majors, pitched with the Mets, 97 and 98. Spent last season in Double and Triple A. Hits one in the hole. Cabrera ranging, jumping, firing, and he gets his man. Big time play by Asdrubal Cabrera.
He's solid. Whatever he can get to, he's got good hands, and look at the strength of the arm. It's a Jeter type play. Very nice. Close play at first.
Duda with a good stretch over there. Yes, indeed. Matt Harvey likes it.
Yes, sir.
Matt Tuiasa-Sopo, who homered against the Mets back on March the 10th. He takes a called strike, and Harvey consistently in the mid-90s so far.
I like what I see. He's got a good sharp breaking ball too. He's a little erratic getting it over, but it's got a good tight break.
Always amazed, there was so much discussion when the Mets signed Asdrubal Cabrera that he had lost a step, maybe two. Could he get it done defensively? And man, he has just quieted everybody with his play. Hit hard out to right field. Jay Bruce going back at the edge of the warning track for the out. So 3 up and 3 down. Matt Harvey and the Mets, no score with the Braves. I will not be seeing that when I get up tomorrow morning.
Do those people work? They're always out at the beach.
It is Sunday. We go to the bottom of the second here at First Data Field. Neil Walker leads it off for the Mets. Matt Whistler on the mound for the Braves. Walker's 14 RBIs lead the Mets so far this spring. He's one of 3 Mets with double-digit RBI. Cespedes and Flores, the other.
Tied his career high last year in home runs with 23, and he, remember the back, he did it in 113 games. Really hit better from the right side of the plate than everybody expected. Had his best year from the right side. It was a pleasant surprise. He's always been a good clutch hitter.
We've spoken a lot about the pitchers and the injuries that they've dealt with and are trying to come back from, and also Lucas Duda, the back injury that he sustained. We haven't spoken a lot about Neil Walker and the fact that he did have the surgery, cut his season short, but he has not really been an issue this spring. He's hit well, and he's been healthy from day one, not to jinx him, but he is an integral part of this team. Hit out to left center field. Back goes Bonifacio as he drifts under it. Out number 1.
Well, this is the time of spring training now when you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. It just gets a little bit boring. That last 2 weeks of spring training, particularly that mid-week, the 3rd week, it's just of the month, it just gets doldrums. You get bored, you want to get north.
And especially this year with the lengthened spring with the WBC.
Yeah.
So it's made it extra tedious as you get down to these final few days.
Well,
Jay Bruce hits one well out to right field. It is hooking, and it is just foul.
well, the wind, into the wind there. That was a blast. not getting any help from that wind.
Well, Jay Bruce, as we get a look at the captain, David Wright, who figures to spend at least the beginning of the season down here in Florida, extended spring training, as he still is not throwing a baseball.
Jeez.
The shift is on for Jay Bruce. As I was about to say, he told James Wagner of the New York Times he's looking for a 50% fly ball rate in 2017. He doesn't want to hit so many ground balls.
Well, you know what? I know I read the article, it was in the Wall Street Journal, about these hitting instructors hitting the ball in the air, and the third baseman for the Cubs,
Brian,
goes by that, an MVP. And you know, if you're a dead pull hitter and you got three guys over, they say the ball on the ground is death. Well, if you have three guys in a shift.
Jay Bruce lines a single into center field.
If you got guys shifting on you, three guys over, yes, a ground ball is going to be death. Breaking ball on the outside corner. That's good to see because Bruce is a dead pull hitter. So hit that outside corner breaking ball. But, you know, if you become predictable at the plate, like they got the shift on Lucas here, not so much because the runner's on first. Yeah, a ground ball to the right side of the infield is death.
The shortstop, Dansby Swanson, is on the right side of second base with that shift. Is due to go for his last 6 down here in Florida with a walk in his last 3 games. Seven of Lucas's hits down here in Florida have been for extra bases. He's got 5 doubles and a couple of home runs. And Whistler falls behind 2-0.
Well, Whistler's always been a guy that gives up more hits than innings pitched.
Lucas on the button. Singles out to right field. Jay Bruce round second, but he's going to stay right there. And so the Mets have first and second with 1 out.
Ball hit hard. They're on his fastball. A little sinker. Lucas stays right on it.
Fourth hit of the day for the Mets, and we're just in the second inning. All 4 of them singles. Cabrera, Cespedes, Bruce, and now Lucas Duda as Kevin Plawecki steps in. Don't forget, Plawecki was involved in that nasty collision during the Mets' first home Grapefruit League game against the Nationals.
You always love a pitcher when he's in trouble. 2 base hits, runners in scoring position here. He's already given up 4 singles, and he leads you off with a breaking ball and he misses badly. And then you're 1-0, and it's like, come on, bring it. Here I am. 2-0 even better.
Whistler was hoping to make starting rotation for the Braves, but Mike Foltynewicz appears to have that inside track on the 5th starter's position for Atlanta.
Well, Foltynewicz has a terrific arm. He throws bullets, has a great breaking ball, but he's always been wild. He can't.
Plawecki hits one out center field, and Ciarte backs up. Makes the catch for out number 2. So Bruce stayed on second base there.
Yeah, he could have gone to third. But I've always liked Foltynewicz's stuff, but he hasn't got command. He can be wild as a March hare.
Going to beat Tehran and
Dickey,
Colon, Jaime Garcia,
and
Foltynewicz.
Yep. So how about that opening day at Citi Field against the Braves? You're going to see 2 ex-Mets out there.
Matt Harvey with 2 on and 2 outs.
There's your opening day starters.
That's a really good matchup. Tehran tough on the Mets. He was really tough on the Mets last season.
He always seems to pitch well against the Mets. 4
quality starts against them last year. Matt has a chance to help his own cause. Hits one into center field, but Enciarte started back, comes in for out number 3. Once again, the Mets get a couple of singles, but nothing else. No score here in Florida.
In life, you have to
Jacob deGrom went 6+ innings in a minor league game yesterday. He is aiming at 200 innings this season.
It's not easy to go out there and throw 200 innings. I don't think anybody here has, not including playoffs. So I think, that's kind of the next thing for us, to get out there and make the 35 starts and get to that 200 mark.
Let's not forget deGrom had a season cut short a season ago, 148 regular season innings, and then the year before, closest he's had to 200, he pitched 191 regular season innings, and then of course went over 200 in the postseason.
Well, it's interesting. He said it's tough to throw 200 innings. It's not his fault. I mean, it's the people that run the game today. They cater and just fawn over their starting pitchers, and there's no reason. These guys are so much bigger and stronger. And, okay, fine, I've accepted what's the changes in the game, but I know that those guys right there could throw 200+ innings. If they were playing 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they'd be doing that.
Emilio Bonifacio leads it off here in the 3rd inning for the Atlanta Braves, as we see Steven Matz next to Jacob deGrom. As we mentioned in the open, he's got a bit of tenderness in his pitching elbow. He said he started to feel it right before his last start when he got hit pretty hard. And I think a lot of that, Keith, is just the way guys are raised now. You don't come up thinking you're going to throw.
Well, agreed.
So many innings.
In the minor leagues, you're not conditioned.
Right.
So I know that Frank Robinson, when he was managing with the Orioles out in AAA, he caught a lot of flack with the general manager because he left a kid in, had reached his specific and precise amount of pitches as a prospect. I know I've said this before, but I'll bring it up again because it's important. And Frank said, he was in trouble. It was his last inning. He hit his pitch count, and I left him in the game because there was 2 outs, and he was, whatever the situation was. I wanted to see if he had guts, get out of a jam. And he caught flack the next day from the general manager. And, so what are you going to do? You have to, they're the boss, And that's what they want. That's what they get. To me, I want a pitcher to finish an inning and feel good about himself. You leave a guy out there, runs on first and second, or bases loaded, 2 outs. You got someone else to come in and clean up the mess. Why? Because our precious maybe 5 more pitches, 8 more pitches, 10 more pitches. I don't buy it. You don't want your pitchers looking down the bullpen, down the right field line or left field line, looking for someone to come in and help them out. You want them to want to finish it.
1-2 from Harvey to Bonifacio. Into shallow center. Back goes Cabrera. In comes Granderson. And nobody's going to make the catch, including Yoenis Cespedes. The wind got a hold of it, drove it away from Cespedes and over the head of Cabrera. And
it's a blustery day as usual here.
now, when you're down here in the Grapefruit League, do you shy away from a play like that to make sure that nobody suffers an injury?
Yes, you don't want to get hurt, but a lot of times if you play not 100% and you let up a little bit, that's when you're going to get hurt. So, I mean, certainly you don't want to, you'll never have a collision at home plate, you know, or have that kind of an injury. But if you let up, I think you're more susceptible to injury.
I mean, Leo,
that doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't. It's like a paradox.
Right. It is the case. Well, if you're not going all out, you're right. That's when things happen.
Everybody's ready to go north.
Whistler unsuccessful again, bunting. Bonifacio earlier in his career was, I was about to say, a pretty good threat to steal. 166 stolen bases. And he's been around the Diamondbacks, the Nationals, the Marlins, Blue Jays, Royals, Cubs, Braves, the White Sox, and then the Braves again. Wheeler. I should say Whistler gets it down that time.
Well, I think that surprised Pilecki, and that surprised me. I mean, Bonifacio can still run, the veteran. A punt like that, boy, you jump on it right in front of home plate. You think you got a chance for the lead runner, and there was no chance. I mean, you jump on this. He's looking to throw, but Bonifacio can still fly. He's got a great jump. Was that a 2-3 or a 2-4 in your scorebook? Here, you know?
I have it down as a 2-3, but I'm going to look at that again.
Okay.
That brings up Ender Inciarte with Bonifacio now down at second. First pitch swinging through the right side. Bonifacio around third. Jay Bruce up and throwing, and here's the throw to the plate. Not close, and the Braves have the first run of the game as Inciarte takes second on the throw.
Well, Inciarte knew that it was a bad throw home. Over the cutoff man. Got to hit the cutoff man. That is one thing that costs you more runs. Hanging slider through the hole. You've got to hit the cutoff man. That has to be your focus. And Inciarte knew right away it was over the head. He never hesitates. He's in scoring position. You're out of a double play. It's just not good. That'll drive more managers crazy.
By the way, Keith, you'll change that on your scorecard. Man,
was it 4?
Inciarte, yeah, it was a 2-4.
Okay. Not that important down here, is it? We're ready to
well,
get
I'm always.
You get to leave. I got to stay.
Yeah, I'm leaving tonight. You're here Tuesday.
I'm
Gary's
Friday.
back Tuesday.
I'm leaving Friday. I got to do Tuesday's game.
Okay.
It'll be the 3 of us in the booth. Gary Collins back, and Ronnie and me. That's our last game. And I'll fly up on Friday with Haji, my cat. My jet-setting cat.
Does he reside just below you under the seat?
He's in the seat in front of me, underneath his little
Yes.
carrier.
Is he a good flyer?
I give him, the vet gives me a little something to make him fall asleep. Just a little pinch, and he's a great flyer. He's been doing it for years. He's 14 years old.
Wow.
And he's going strong.
Solid run.
Back to baseball.
Yes. Dansby Swanson walked in his first at bat. That one gets away, and Plawecki grabs it, and Inciarte stays at second. Well, there's Travis d'Arnaud, and he's had issues with base runners, stealing 0 for 12 on actual runners that he threw. 1 for 13. He was not involved in the last one. But the transfer of the baseball has been an issue for Travis d'Arnaud. Arm strength, they say, is there. It's the footwork and the transfer of the baseball. Swanson swing and a miss.
That's where pitchers need to pitch more upstairs today. Everybody wants to put the ball in the air, which means a bit of an uppercut, and that's going to leave you vulnerable up and in. So I like what I see so far from Mr. Harvey.
Yeah, Walker is shaded over towards second base with the base runner there.
Good one.
And Dansby Swanson goes down on strikes. The first strikeout of the afternoon from Matt Harvey.
Beautiful. Oh, is that a changeup? Not sure. Very nice. And Matt's going to get one more start. He needs another start. He's with his next time up against Army.
Against Army on Friday.
He needs to work. He needs to get out there. He needs another start.
Adonis Garcia flied out center field in the first inning. Well, there have been some scouts, and I was reading where one scout said that there's a little bit of a disconnect now, that Harvey needs to redevelop the feel for his pitches, because I'm not sure there's a great body of evidence on this, because not that many pitchers have had thoracic outlet syndrome, but they say that it takes a solid 10 months to really get it back, and that will come in May.
Good slider. Very good. He pitches like this, he's going to win.
1-1 pitch from Harvey to Adonis Garcia. Hit in the air to right field. Jay Bruce has it lined up. Out number 3. Braves get a run. They take a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the third. Met Spring Training Baseball, always live with the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected all spring with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball.
Oh. Yeah, it's all good.
That'll make it feel better.
It's an awesome day up on the berm.
All that sugar.
Bottom of the third here in Port St. Lucie. Top of the order for the Mets. Reyes, Cabrera, and Cespedes. Reyes hits one up the middle and through for a base hit. Fifth hit of the day for the Mets.
Well, they're on his fastball. He's not fooling anybody with that fastball. It's up in the strike zone. Reyes has always been a widespread hitter. Feet wide apart. Kind of locks your hips up, but some guys do it. A lot of guys do it today.
Asdrubal Cabrera singled in the first. And Whistler keeping Reyes close. Reyes 488 stolen bases in his career. Second amongst active players behind only Ichiro, who's got 508. Cabrera in the air to center field. And Ciarte trying to shade his eyes from the sun. Out number one. So the sun is sort of in and out behind the clouds, but it does get a little bit hazy, and there's a glare that the outfielders are dealing with. Really nice crowd here today. These two teams played yesterday up north, the Orlando area. Mets shut out the Braves 3-0. Yoenis Cespedes singled in the first. We'll keep an eye on Cespedes here to make sure that quad is not bothering him. You would think the fact that he's still in there makes it a non-issue, but certainly will bear watching. Reyes leads off first. Cespedes right to second. Peterson to Swanson on to first for a double play. Goes 4-6-3 in your book. We go to the fourth.
With your New York's
27 pitches for Matt Harvey so far, 32 of those 4 strikes. He's been really good. The defense behind him solid as well. Cabrera with that jump throw as Tyler Flowers leads off the Atlanta 4th inning.
Oh, those minor league games.
Marlins in town.
Yes.
Miners. Hit just inside the bag. That's a fair ball. Bounces out to the left field corner, and that's going to be a leadoff double for Tyler Flowers.
Just out of the reach of Jose, right down the line. Close but no cigar.
As you mentioned earlier, Jose Reyes did a really nice job at third base for the Mets last year, and with David Wright on the shelf at the moment, the fact that Reyes is a natural leadoff hitter sort of checks off that box and alleviates the question of who is going to be the leadoff hitter. That one is skied out to right field. Jay Bruce, 1 pitch and an out. Jace Peterson.
And the 2 balls hit hard right there.
Mel Rojas Jr. grounded out to shortstop in the 2nd. Matt Harvey 12 1/3 innings coming into today's game. The ERA a little bit over 7, certainly not what he wanted, but this is about as good as we have seen him all spring so far today. Well, look at the spring numbers.
They're a little deceptive, you know. Each one he got incrementally better. Again, we all know he's come off that surgery. It's all about when the season starts.
Thoracic outlet syndrome surgery for Matt Harvey. Swing and a miss, mid-90s for Harvey.
He's got life in that fastball.
Harvey ahead on Mel Rojas Jr. 1-2. Hit in the air out to left field. Cespedes over towards the line. Runs out of room.
Ooh, I got to fix that. Oh, that's a gate right there. That's right.
Cespedes looked fine. Trying to track that down. So is it that it's the gate or that he's that strong?
It's the gate.
Okay.
But he is strong. I wouldn't want to tangle him.
And he got stronger during this offseason. So, you know, there's been so much discussion down here this spring. Who's going to be the 5th starter? With Gesellman and Wheeler and Lugo all in search of that spot. But now with the news that Matz, at least for the moment, has some tenderness in that elbow, it just goes to show you, and we hope that that is certainly not anything that is going to keep him out. But you can never have enough starting pitching as Harvey Mack backs off Rojas off the plate.
Well, it looks like Gesellman's pitched his way on into the rotation, and deservedly so. This opens the door for Lugo, for Seth Lugo, and you know the youngster out there is having a terrific spring as Montero. All of a sudden, he's been a big surprise.
Swing and a miss, 95-mile-per-hour fastball from Matt Harvey.
Nice. Threw it by him.
So with 2 outs and a man on second, that brings up Matsui Asasopo. Matsui Asasopo playing baseball, but football is the family business. He signed a letter of intent to play quarterback at the University of Washington. Father, 8 years in the NFL, defensive lineman with the Seahawks and the 49ers, and his brother, quarterback for a long time in the NFL with the Raiders, and finished up with the Jets in 2007.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Fisher biting. Nice block by Milwaukee.
Kevin Plawecki would figure to start this season at AAA Las Vegas. So Harvey ahead in the count, 0-2. Flowers leads off second. And that is in there for a called third strike. Back-to-back strikeouts for Matt Harvey. Harvey's looked good so far. It's 1-0 heading to the bottom of the fourth. Curtis Granderson leads it off for the Mets as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning here in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Big crowd to see the Mets and the Atlanta Braves. Granderson hit into a 4-6-3 double play in his first at bat. There are those who believe that the Braves could decide who wins the National League East. The Braves had pretty good success against the Mets last year. They won 10 of 19, whereas Washington won 15 of the 19 matchups with Atlanta last season, and this is going to be an improved Atlanta team.
No doubt.
They were much better last year after they acquired Matt Kemp.
They're still not ready for prime time, but they're moving up the food chain.
But out in the center field, back goes Inciarte, still going back to the track, into the wall. He leaps up and makes the catch. Big time play by Ender Inciarte, flashing the leather. And that's why he was a Gold Glover a season ago.
He can definitely go get him. He is a fine outfielder, center fielder. I like the way he plays too. He's a hustler.
his pitcher like that. So 1 out as Neil Walker is up there for the Mets. Jay Bruce waits on deck. Sun comes out. Walker on the ground down to first. Tui Asasopo steps on the bag. 2 down. Jay Bruce, who turns 30 years old on opening day, singled in the second. Beaumont, Texas native. Struggled when he came over last year. A $183 is what he hit in August. Better down the stretch. Hit 6 home runs in the month of September. Another one to the right side. Bad high. Peterson stays in front of it. And he gets the out. So the Mets go 3 up and 3 down here in the 4th inning. That's the way they teach it. Get down, get your body in front of it, and they get the out. 1-0 going to the 5th.
And some close plays at first.
Jay Bruce manning right field for the Mets here today, and with that we send it downstairs to Eamon McEnany.
Well, Gary, as you mentioned, Jay Bruce grew up in Texas, but that didn't stop him as a young player from idolizing Ken Griffey Jr. when he was with the Mariners. But he did more than just imitate Jr.'s batting stance. He took it a step further. He called 411 and found out the phone number for the Kingdome and tried to get a hold of Jr. and get him on the phone, but the switchboard operator never put him through. I asked him earlier today, if the switchboard operator did put you through and you got a chance to talk to Jr., what would you have asked him? He said, I had absolutely no idea. I probably would have frozen up and not even got a word out on the conversation. But, of course, being drafted by the Reds, he eventually got to know Ken Griffey Jr. and even became teammates. And in 2007, when he was a young player, Adam Dunn and Jr. played a prank on him. They were playing the Yankees in a preseason game, and they told him, hey, A-Rod and Jeter want your autographs. So go sign a ball and say, hey, dear A-Rod, next best thing, Jay Bruce. So he sent over a bunch of balls autographed to A-Rod and Derek Jeter, and when he came out of the batting cage, they were all laughing at him. So he fell for that prank. But he told me earlier today that if you look at his batting stance and his swing, it's still pretty similar to the one of Jr. that he imitated as a 9-year-old. As that one's hit hard to the gap, no one's going to get it. off the wall for a double. But Gary certainly still, they get in. But Jay Bruce still has a little bit of that Ken Griffey Jr. swing in his game.
All right, Eamon, Emilio Bonifacio.
By the way, Gary,
Out of the reach of Curtis Granderson. Yes.
don't dial 561 for me. All right, don't call me.
No,
I got no advice for you.
Well, you give me enough up here. I appreciate what I get from you in the booth here. That's enough for me. But it was nice to run into you at dinner the other night.
Yeah, we did.
How about that?
Bonacera, Jupiter, one of the fine Italian restaurants
Boy, it
down
really
here.
is good.
That's a New York quality restaurant.
I said that was my exact description. Would be a great restaurant anywhere in the world.
Yes.
That Whistler sacrifice bunt in his first at bat squares around again. Fourth hit of the day off Matt Harvey. There for a called strike count, evens at 1-1. Bonifacio began the day 1 for his last 13. He's got a single and a double off Harvey, 2 of the 4 Atlanta hits. .66 pitches now from Matt Harvey here in the 5th inning. Whistler did have a couple of RBIs last year. Gets the bunt down. Harvey off the mound, looks at third, no chance, and gets the out over at first. So Whistler getting the job done once again.
Yeah, we'll see if the Mets bring the infield in. I'm pretty sure they will. Not a great bunt, but with Bonifacio's speed, just get it down, and the Mets will come in on the infield.
It's got to be the right situation, but like a hit and run.
So Ender Inciarte, who knocked in the first run of the game for the Braves. A chance now as we get a look at the infield defense and everybody in on the grass. Or at least the edge of the grass. Inciarte skies one into right field. Bruce over. Granderson makes the catch in center for out number 2. Bonifacio tags and scores as the Braves extend their lead to 2-0.
Fundamentals. Got him over on the bunt. Pitcher helps himself. Sack fly. Add on.
Dansby Swanson dealt with a bad hamstring early last season. First pitch swinging. Swanson's one of those guys, you know, you can't always tell about intangibles, but he has been a winning player his whole life. Led Vanderbilt as a sophomore to the College World Series championship. Got them back there the next year as well, and then #1 pick in the draft. Hit 3 home runs a season ago. His first big league homer was an inside the park home run.
Swanson, wearing the face guard, was hit in the face in a simulated game back in his Diamondback days, 2015, I believe. So I guess he 14 stitches, mild concussion. So I guess he's playing safety first. Can't blame him.
I've seen Giancarlo Stanton in Miami wear sort of a similar type thing. After he took one to the face, hit on the ground. Walker ranging to his right, fires to Duda for the 3rd out. Braves get another run. They lead it 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
Would you be into
It's the best way to start your weekday. Join Suki, Scott, and the Pix 11 News team with breaking news as it happens, plus up-to-the-minute traffic and weather updates. On the Pix 11 Morning News, it's New York's very own.
5 a.m.?
That's early.
I never catch that.
Lucas Duda leads it off in the home half of the 5th inning. A little warm here today. Temperatures hovering a little bit beyond 80 degrees, 82 at the moment.
It's, you don't feel the humidity, but it's there. Once you get your heart pumping and you break a sweat, that's what's good about Florida. And more positive about spring training in Florida. I've talked to a lot of players that comparing Arizona, the dry heat, they all prefer to play in the humidity. Well, most of them. Anyway, I don't know, but I think it's better to. You can't sweat down there.
In Arizona.
In Arizona, that dry. You are, but it just dries up so fast. But here, you can get it going. You can soak a T-shirt in a heartbeat.
Lucas Duda leading it off for the Mets in the 5th inning. Whistler took something off it.
Down and in slider.
Lucas Duda played in just 47 games last season with the stress fracture in his lower back. Turns on it, but got out in front of it.
The ball was way inside. Well, he didn't play much last year, Lucas, with the back.
If he can give the Mets the sort of production he gave them in 2014 and 2015, a combined 57 home runs, that will be really big for this team.
Yes, it would. I couldn't agree with you more.
108 career home runs. I mean, this is the time for Lucas. Keith, he's 31 years old.
Yeah, of course. You always think you can play forever. That curtain comes down sooner or later.
Well, Lucas has said this spring that all the injuries that has sort of engulfed this team have opened his eyes to the fact that, number one, he's not immortal, and number two, there's a finite amount of time you're going to play in the big leagues and not to take it for granted. On the ground, Tuiasa Sopo boots it, but Whistler is over there, and that's the first out.
No, stayed in front. Ball comes up, you stay in front, you take it off the tummy. And it's 3-1 on your scorecard.
Kevin Plawecki flied out to center field in his first at bat in the second inning. Plawecki was a supplemental first-round pick of the Mets back in 2012. Hit down to third and just foul.
I actually had dinner last night and ran into the commissioner, baseball commissioner, and his wife. He lives up there in the Jupiter area. I run into him all the time. I had the first time I saw him this spring, got a chance to chat with him.
Was there discussion about hardcore baseball or general? Was
Not,
there?
you know, just pleasant. I don't want to. He's having dinner with his wife.
You don't want to say to him, well, you know, about that pace of play situation.
Horrible.
That's a high bouncer. Garcia makes a leap, hits off his glove, but that's a single for Kevin Plawecki.
So Matt Harvey's got another inning in him. This is a high hopper here. It's hot. The fields start to bake towards the end of spring. Get these high hoppers.
That's 6 hits now for the Mets, all of them singles. Matt Harvey, a career 129 hitter. Does have one homer in his big league career. That came back in 2015.
When Matt
get the bunt down.
When Matt came up, he was hitting the ball hard, and they got around real quick that, hey, this is not, you just can't throw fastballs at this guy. They started throwing him breaking balls, and thus Matt is on the interstate with those wrinkles. Has a hard time hitting those wrinkles.
Well, as a collective group, the Mets pitching staff is pretty good from the offensive side.
Absolutely.
Syndergaard has power. DeGrom, we know, was a shortstop in college.
Yep.
Matz, we know about his debut. There's Harvey, gets the bunt down. And Plawecki on to second. So Matt Harvey gets the job done.
Well, let's see if the Mets can cash in on a run here. 2-out base hit would be nice.
Jose Reyes 1 for 2 on the day. Flied out to center field in the first inning and singled into center in the third.
Ball almost hit someone on the ricochet off the roof. Came all the way back down to the front row. I don't know how it didn't hit that guy.
Reyes slides one out in the right center field. That's a base hit. Plawecki around third. He's going to score all the way to the wall. Reyes around second, on his way to third. Here's the throw. Here's the slide, and Reyes in safely with a triple. First triple of the spring for Jose Reyes.
Fastball out over the plate, ripped into the right center. And Jose can still fly.
Still can, as you said, Keith, get around. Maybe lost a half a step, but he is dangerous on the base paths. Asdrubal Cabrera with the tying run, 90 feet away now. Takes a called strike one. Reyes has talked about the fact that the turf at Rogers Center up in Toronto when he played there was really tough on his hamstrings and made it very difficult on him, on his back as well. When Cespedes waits on deck, he would be next. Cabrera, 31 years old, played 141 games a season ago for the Mets. And in the air to center field, that's going to drop in front of Inciarte. Reyes trots in with the second run of the inning, and it's tied now at 2-2.
Oh, nice two-out rally by the Mets. Another fastball, right on it.
Activity now as they begin to stir out in the Atlanta bullpen. Kevin Chapman is up out there. Cespedes singled in that first inning and hit into a 4-6-3 double play in the third. Big swing and a miss as Whistler took something off it.
With a slider.
That's something the Braves are working on with Whistler. Really has not found the consistency in his slider or his changeup. He's worked with Tom Glavine on his changeup. And there for a called strike. It's a Whistler ahead, 1-2. Cespedes went hitless on Friday against the Astros. Prior to that, had a hit in each of his previous 4 games. Cabrera leads off first. Two pitch. In a line right to Garcia down at third. But the Mets get a couple of runs on 3 hits. It's tied at 2 as we go to the 6th.
The Lexus Command.
his 5th start of the spring. He's thrown 72 pitches, 50 for strikes. He has struck out 3 and walked 1.
He has been impressive, Gare. I like his stuff. He's got life on his fastball.
Jonas Garcia just fouled down the left field line.
He's got a good sharp break there. He hung one right there and got away with it. Fortunate that ball went foul, but I think all in all, this has been a good start for Matt. Good progress.
So there had been some discussion when sort of evaluating this pitching staff and how they're going to break and go north. There had been some rumblings that wasn't out of the question for Harvey to be in the discussion for extended spring training, but I would think with the way he finished up last time with an outing like this, that would be out of the question.
Well, with the question mark on Matz now, Steven Matz with a tender elbow. Let's see how that, he got 8 days for opening day. And he's going to be probably Matt's the 3rd starter, maybe the 4th starter. Not sure, but the rotation is lined up for. But he's got time to heal that little tenderness there. But he needs to get out there and pitch. And this is what's always been the problem with Steven, is that he's like a Maserati. He's high maintenance. Got to get him in the garage with the mechanics. Get the oil change, keep him going.
Garcia slicing one into right field for a base hit for the Braves to get it going here in the 6th inning.
Fastball. Ball came back over the middle, wanted it away. But it was down. I like the fact he's kept the ball down pretty good today.
Tyler Flowers is next for the Braves. One member of the Mets front office said to me that you've got to take into consideration, and Gazelman's been really good this spring. First pitch swinging by Flowers out into right field as Jay Bruce drifts over towards the line and makes the catch for out number 1. So say to me that not just performance on the field, but when it comes to some of these established guys like Matt Harvey and the high ticket guys like a Zach Wheeler who's coming back after a couple of years on the shelf, you've got to take the psyche into consideration as well. What do you make of that?
In what way are they worried about the psyche?
Well, if you leave, say, Wheeler down here for extended spring training, he's champing at the bit to get back. He's a former
work
bonus
hard
baby.
To get back up in the big leagues.
The 1st round pick. Do you
work hard to get back up? He hasn't pitched in 2 years. If he's not ready, you know, that's the way it goes. You do your hard work and you work your fanny off to get back up in the big leagues. I'm not going to worry about someone. I'm not going to worry about someone's psyche. Sorry, Graham. I'm not mad at you.
No.
I'm not angry.
No, I just think I sort of, when I heard that, I thought it was interesting because when you deal with guys who are expected to be, and there goes Adonis Garcia, and
barely just got in
safely.
Well, the last outing for Wheeler, close play, did get in. Good call. You know, he had the bad inning. He was throwing well. And then with the 4th inning he pitched, he gave up the runs. He had the bad inning. You know, those are signs that, you know, he's not ready. Maybe he's not. He needs more. I'm not going to say conditioning, but build up his stamina. He hasn't pitched in 2 years.
Gave up 4 hits and 4 runs in just 3 innings of work against the Marlins.
And he threw well the first 3 innings. In the 4th inning, he got torched a little bit. So my feeling is this: is that, you know, hey, how do you get back to the big leagues? You work hard. You work on things and force them. Make them bring you back up. I don't need someone to pat me on the back and worry about if I hurt my feelings or hurt.
Matt Harvey at 80 pitches now. That's in there for a called strike 3. 4th strikeout of the afternoon for Matt Harvey.
Breaking ball. Locked them up, down and in.
Mel Rojas Jr. steps in now. He's over 2 on the day. Grounded out to shortstop in the second. That big-time play by Asdrubal Cabrera, and then struck out in the 4th inning. First pitch swinging, skies one down the left side. Reyes going over. In comes Cespedes, and Yoenis Cespedes makes the catch for the 3rd out. So Yoenis Cespedes on his horse going over into the Mets bullpen. 2-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Getting the handshakes, his day has come to an end, and very impressively. 6 innings, 5 hits, couple of runs, 82 pitches, 59 of those were strikes. He struck out 4 and he walked 1.
I think that Matt's got to feel good about his performance today. I think the brain trust out there and the coaching staff's got to feel good about it.
Kevin Chapman is the new pitcher, the left-hander for the Braves.
Boy, Fresno's a AAA team now, huh? Fresno back in our day was the California State League, was an A-ball team. It was the Giants.
Fernando Salas.
Fernando needs a good outing here. He's been having a tough spring.
Curtis Granderson leads it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Mets, and he lays off at count evens at 1-1. In there for a called strike. Granderson, Walker, and Jay Bruce for the Mets here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
That is Whistler, the starting pitcher, getting down and getting some more work down there. And he's throwing almost like a game here. So he's stretching it out a little bit.
Count is full to Curtis Granderson. Up high, and so the Mets have a base runner here in the 6th.
1-2 and you lose them. All sliders.
That brings up Neil Walker. 12 for 45 this spring.
Another slider. He likes his slider, Chapman.
Kevin Chapman, 6'3", 230. Keeps Granderson close over there. 29 years old. Spent the last 4 years with the Houston Astros. Chapman falling behind 2-0 on Neil Walker. As I mentioned earlier, those 14 RBIs in 16 games. Best on the Mets. Tied for third most in the Grapefruit League. Pablo Sandoval of the Red Sox leads the majors with 19 at the start of play today. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that's in there for a called strike. Sandoval trying to get his career back on track.
That's Jay Bruce chatting it up there. You're overhearing the conversation with the hitting coach.
2-1 pitch, and Walker fouls it away.
Was talking with Kevin Long. Got good sound down here all the time. We can spy on conversations in the on-deck circle on both sides. That's where the mics are. There's the mic. There's the mic right
over
there.
His head there.
Right under the score bug, it's called, folks. Right under 2-2. There it is. It's protuberance. Whatever it was. Protuberance.
Protuberance.
Yes, protuberance. Yes. We'll use that word again.
I hang around you. I learned these words.
Yes. I mispronounced it.
Count is even on Neil Walker, 2-2. Curtis Granderson, who leads off first.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, Gare.
Get City Field on Saturday night, April 8th, when the Mets play the Miami Marlins at 7:10. It's the first fireworks night of 2017. Following the game, fans can enjoy a fireworks show that's going to light up the City Field sky. For tickets, visit Mets.com/fireworks.
Saturday night fireworks. You know what's good about that, Gary?
Tell me.
So I can get in my car after we do the post game and go out in the parking lot. Everybody stays in the park. There's no traffic. I can get my fanny back home.
You get out quickly is what you're saying.
Yes.
We went to a game last year. I took our kids to the game where Andy Grammer performed after the game. It was a concert night. It was rain, it was late, and we stayed. We had a great night. That one's hit in the air. Out to shallow right field. Rojas coming in, and Peterson going out to make the catch.
Windy day. It's not an easy play for an infielder.
But when your back is to the infield, that's really tough. There is the aforementioned Jay Bruce. Singled into right field in his first at bat and grounded out to second in the fourth inning. Coming into camp, there was so much discussion that Conforto would have to have just an unbelievable spring to unseat Jay Bruce, and he's had a really good spring. Went yard yesterday, hitting .346 as Bruce fouls one just down the left field line. There are the numbers on Michael Conforto. So, listen, as good as he's been, he's not going to unseat Jay Bruce out in right field.
No, he's not. But he's going to go north now with the injuries to the outfielders, Nemo and Lagares. I would think. I don't know who else could go. Ty Kelly's going, looks like.
TJ Rivera would be one of the other bench players, but on the infield.
On the infield.
Right, and they've spoken about Reyes potentially getting a glove as we get a look at Lagares there. He's going to get an MRI tomorrow. Yeah. Reyes potentially playing some outfield as Bruce skies one a mile high into left field. Bonifacio has it measured. And makes the catch for out number 2. So it would figure that Conforto would be that guy, but the big discussion about Conforto is they want him to play every day to get at bats. And
I hear you.
If he does come north, he's not going to play every day, and he's not going to get the consistent at bats.
Yep, and it's cold weather, and you're going to have to take a lot of batting practice and stay sharp. I know they like the cage. The hitters today love the cage. I never liked the cages. I like to hit out in the field. I like to see where my ball was going.
Lucas Judah with Granderson still leading off first. He began the inning by walking. Did they have, as we get a look at Michael Conforto, did they have as many indoor cages in the ballpark?
They have better cages now. They're wider. Before they used to be like little tunnels, not tunnels. They were all netted. They're still netted, but they weren't very wide. Now they made them wider so you can track your ball a little better. But there's no substitute for me. I'm just speaking for myself. I like BP on the field. And I think most players do.
Here's the 0-2 pitch from Chapman to Duda. Gets away. Granderson takes off for second, and Curtis Granderson slides in safely. And so the Mets have another man in scoring position.
Well done, Curtis. Ball in the dirt to be a wild pitch. Never hesitated. You come off on your toes like that, you're gone. Beautiful.
Joel De La Cruz is now up in the Atlanta bullpen. One-two pitch on the way and taken down low by Lucas Duda. It evens. Deuce is wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tied at 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Mets have a go-ahead run down at second. And the count goes full on Lucas Duda. His last home run came back on March the 13th. Popped up to the left side. Garcia ranging into foul ground. Makes the catch for out number 3. Still tied as we head to the 7th.
When you're New York's very own
Top of the 7th here in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Great day for baseball. Great day to be at the beach doing some surfing. Whatever suits your fancy. Fernando Salas, the new pitcher for the Mets.
Last year, 17 games with the Mets, did a fine job. Came up in 2010 with the Cardinals. Spent 4 years there and then went off for 3 years with the Angels. Almost 3 years.
This is the 4th appearance of the spring for Fernando Salas, who spent time away for the WBC as Jerry Blevins is up in the Mets bullpen, and then had the issue, did Salas, with the work visa, which did not allow him to get here in a timely fashion. Last pitched on Friday against the Astros. Gave up a couple of hits in a third of an inning of work. Matsui Asasopo batting of the bottom of the order here for the Braves. Leads it off in the 7th. Hit in the air to the right side. Duda going out. In comes Jay Bruce. Wynn's got a hold of it, and Bruce cannot hang on.
I think he lost that for a bit. He's kind of pulled up. No, he just didn't get there.
And we never saw him look over at Duda, so I think he thought it was his ball.
Oh, it was his ball all the way.
You see Duda checking the sun. Here's the 1-2 pitch. On the ground, a shortstop. Cabrera off his glove. Sort of hesitated at first. Thought about going back, then he came in and tried to pick it clean and couldn't do it.
Try to get the short hop. It's in between, and he just didn't keep his head down or anything there. So that kids out there, that's improper.
That is an error on Asdrubal Cabrera.
It absolutely is.
He's 6. Emilio Bonifacio's had a good day for the Braves. He singled and scored in the 3rd and doubled and scored in the 5th inning. Hit in the air to the left side. Reyes into foul ground over near the seats, reaches up and he makes the catch. That's the first out. Jose Reyes going to the backhand side right there, over near the railing.
Your attention, please. For the Braves, number 86, Kyle Pittsburgh.
So 1 out here. Pinch hitter for the Braves. That's Kyle Kubica.
I wonder if that's Kubica. I'm not sure, but I could look him up.
Checking the phonetics here that they gave us. Looks like Kubica.
Okay. He's not on the 40-man roster.
No.
Well, pretty soon we'll be through with all this, Garrett. There'll be no more 40-man rosters out here. We'll have 25 people out there that we're very familiar with.
Makes a huge difference. Activity continuing on the backfields. Is that Ahmed Rosario?
Yes.
It is, with his back to us.
I remember those days on those minor league fields.
Fondly?
Yes.
Ender Inciarte waits on deck. This was a Brave team that got off to a terrible start. 9-28, took themselves out of the race very early last year, but then finished strong. 20-10 down the stretch. Hit on the ground, second base, Walker to short for one. Cabrera no throw. And that's the second out.
Not hit hard enough to turn two, so you make sure of one.
The manager, Terry Collins, on his way out to the mound. Fernando Salas' day has come to an end as Jerry Blevins trots in from the bullpen. As we like to say on our pre- and post-game show, hello, Jerry. To get off your feet, hang out down in the bullpen, which is exactly what Cespedes did.
It's time to get back out there.
He's just coming back out right now. As Jerry Blevins onto the mound for the Mets now. Blevins getting set to make his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th appearance this spring. Blevins facing Ender Inciarte. Lays down the bunt. And a good one, but it trickles foul.
And that's where Reyes likes to play that deep third base. And I remember I mentioned before that, you know, he's been a shortstop his whole life. And I was surprised last year that teams didn't try to test him down there on some bunts like that.
If you're just joining us, the Braves went ahead 2-0. Mets got 2 in the bottom of the 5th to tie it. We've got 2 outs here at the top of the 7th. Kyle Kubica leading off first. And a good pitch by Blevins as Inciarte waving.
The old breaking ball pulled off his front shoulder. Blevins mixes up his pitches more now. There was more fastballs. I think Dan Wortham convinced him to have confidence in his fastball. He was always breaking ball, and successful with it.
0-2 pitch from Blevins to Inciarte.
Well, surprising, huh? Left-handers hit 255 against him.
Righty's just a $182. I think Jerry thought he might get a 2 or 3 year deal. Ended up with 1 plus an option back here with the Mets, who were thrilled to get him back. Blevins now 33 years old. Born in Johnson City, Tennessee. Kubica leads off first. And the count evens. Blevins came up with the Oakland A's. Then a year in Washington. Then on to the Mets. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And in there for a called strike three. Jerry Blevins doing what Jerry Blevins does so well. So we're tied at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th here at First Data Field.
Get to Nissan now.
Beautiful day down here in Port St. Lucie, Florida for spring training baseball. The captain, despite the fact that he is sidelined at the moment, a big smile. Jose Reyes doing what he does so well. Burn it on the base paths. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning here as Kevin Plawecki leads it off against De La Cruz.
Joel De La Cruz.
Addison Reed up in the Mets bullpen. Kevin Plawecki 1 for 2 on the day in center field. Bonifacio going back. He's not going to make that play over his head. Plawecki into second base with a stand-up double. Second hit of the day for Kevin Plawecki.
2 for 3 on the day. He likes that fastball. Big ballpark here. Stayed level on this bell-tie pitch. Well done.
So Bonifacio has moved from left field to center field. Adam Walker is now in left field as Michael Conforto steps in. Conforto, a couple of hits yesterday, including a home run. Takes a called strike one.
We're going to have a pinch runner out there at second base.
Number 82, Dale Burdick replaces Kevin Plawecki. Conforto takes a called strike. Let's go downstairs. Eamon McEnany standing by with Matt Harvey. Eamon.
Gary, thanks. Matt, after your last outing, you said it was the best you felt all spring. How about today after today's outing?
Yeah, definitely big improvement. I think each start it was progressively getting better, and I think everything's starting to click at the right time.
What was the most encouraging thing you took out of today's start?
Just when you get in some situations with runners on, try to make pitches and keep them from having a longer inning. And I got in trouble a couple times with guys on second base, and was able to throw strikes, and guys were making plays, so it was pretty easy to kind of pound the zone.
Now, at the beginning of spring training, you said you weren't concerned about velocity. That was for the rest of us, but today you did crank it up to 96, 97. How do you balance that out as Conforto hits that hard to right? Runner tags. And there's a sacrifice fly for Conforto. How do you balance working your way back and then cranking it up when you want to in a game?
I think it's, I felt progress in my bullpens, and then, feeling progress out there against, live hitters and competition. It was encouraging for me to keep working and really not worry about the velocity. I felt like, to start, everything was coming back in the bullpens pretty easily, and then it was just kind of a matter of time for me when the comfort settled in while I was out playing the game.
How comfortable are you with your slider at this point right now with one more start in the spring exhibition?
Yeah, I felt pretty good today. I think that's a big pitch for me. It's been a big pitch in the past, and if I can throw that to righties and lefties, it's pretty valuable for me.
Finally, wild pitch here, and the Mets get a run. Finally, what gets you more nervous or more butterflies, coming out here to pitch this game today or going home to watch North Carolina, Kentucky later tonight?
Now that this is over and when successful, I can throw my Carolina gear on and cheer on the boys.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt. I appreciate the time. Gary, back up to you.
All right, Eamon. Matt, big time day for Matt Harvey. Really an important day for Matt Harvey.
Yes.
As Del Burdick scored on the wild pitch by Joel De La Cruz. De La Cruz making his 8th appearance of the spring. He's had a good spring. ERA just a little bit over 1.08. Reyes hammers one out to right field. Rojas going over. It's going to drop in front of him. Jose Reyes head first into second for a double. Third hit of the day for Jose Reyes and his second extra base hit.
A little bit on the end. A low speed pitch.
So Rojas' day has come to it, I should say. Reyes' day has come to an end. TJ Rivera pinch running. Asdrubal Cabrera. A couple of hits on the day, including an RBI single in the 5th, and that one gets away. Worth noting here, because Eamon asked Matt about his North Carolina roots. That's where Gary Cohen is today. Gary's on the radio call tonight of Kentucky and Carolina.
He's got the good one.
He's got a terrific.
I'm looking forward to that one tonight.
Assignment tonight.
5 o'clock, right?
Yes. Cabrera reaches out, sends it to left field. Adam Walker backs up. And that's the second out.
Out in front, off speed. In a good spot. See, it's down and away. Not much a guy can do with that. Completely fooled Asdrubal there.
Yoenis Cespedes now with T.J. Rivera leading off second base. Jace Peterson playing just to the right of second base with Rivera on there. Well, the Braves come to Citi Field to open the season next Monday, and then the Mets in the month of April do not go outside the division. They play all National League East teams in the month of April. Here's the 1-1 from De La Cruz, and Cespedes takes it up high, and it's 2-1. Mets have just 3 off days in the month of April. Mighty cut from Cespedes.
You heard that, folks. That was a changeup.
That was Curtis Granderson in the on-deck circle. Mets already have 1 on the board here in the 7th to take a 3-2 lead.
Oh, good swing.
How much, Keith, during your playing days did you talk hitting on the bench?
Oh, during the game?
Yes.
All the time, because you watch the pitcher, what he's throwing. You know, you can get a feel, and you ask your other teammates, you know, what did he get you out with? Your own experiences. You got to watch and see there's a pattern the pitcher has. Absolutely.
2-2 pitch. Count goes full on Yoenis Cespedes. Cespedes, 31 years old, signed that 4-year, $110 million contract during the offseason. It was the first big piece of business for the Mets this offseason. Cespedes has to lean out of the way. That brings up Curtis Granderson with first and second and 2 outs.
Another pinch runner, number 91.
Ian Strom, number 91, as Yoenis Cespedes' day also comes to an end. The Cespedes signing this offseason certainly signaled that the Mets were all in 2017. Real commitment by the front office and by ownership. Granderson into right field. That's going to drop in front of Rojas. In comes T.J. Rivera. Strom stops at third, and the Mets have a bit of insurance. Curtis Granderson, the RBI single, and the Mets have a 4-2 lead.
Another 2-out RBI here. Down and away, went down, got it, waited on it nicely. 4 runs the Mets have scored today have been with 2 outs.
Curtis Granderson is finished for the day. Patrick Biondi, number 83, runs for Curtis. Neil Walker from the left side is hitless on the afternoon. (15 of Walker's 23 home runs a season ago came off right-handed pitching as Biondi dives back in safely. Cruz keeping Biondi close. These two teams going to meet one more time down here in Florida on Wednesday at the Braves home stadium, Champion Stadium, up in the Orlando area. First and third and 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Neil Walker in the air. Dansby Swanson has it lined up. But the Mets get a couple of runs and they take a 4-2 lead to the 8th. We head to the top of the 8th inning here at First State of Field. Our final score is brought to you by Mazda. Braves jumping out to the 2-0 lead. Mets put up 2 in the bottom of the 5th and 2 more in the bottom of the 7th to take a 4-2 lead as Addison Reed steps to the mound here to work the 8th inning.
Addison's had a bit of a dicey spring. Pitched better towards the tail end. He's getting ready. He's a veteran. He knows what he has to do.
Dansby Swanson leads it off here in the 8th inning for the Braves. Adonis Garcia waits on deck. Addison Reed scheduled to be the Mets closer if and when the word comes down that Jeurys Familia is going to be hit with that suspension, which we expect to happen sometime very soon. Swanson into center field. That's Ian Straub who's into the game now. And that's the first out. Get Citi Field on April 7th, the first free shirt Friday of 2017. Mets take on the Miami Marlins at 7:10. All fans in attendance go to receive a There's No Place Like Home long sleeve t-shirt presented by Secure Watch 24. For tickets, visit Mets.com/free shirt Fridays. I like not that she just came to the game, but she's prepared with a backpack. Jonas Garcia is 1 for 3. Single last time up in the 6th inning and stole second. Swing and a miss. Addison Reed, 28 years old. 6 feet 4 inches, 230 pounds. Former closer with the White Sox and with the Diamondbacks. Garcia sharply through the middle, and that's his second hit of the day.
Well, heading to count here, and he hangs a slider. Good hitting right there.
Pinch runner for Adonis Garcia. That's Sean Kazmar, number 85. Tyler Flowers doubled in the 4th inning. Reed keeping Kazmar close over at first. So again, the Braves did not bring Matt Kemp today. Nor did they bring Brandon Phillips or Freddie Freeman. 3 of the key cogs on this Atlanta Braves team. Hit sharply off the glove. At second base of Ty Kelly. Kazmar goes first to third.
Man said somebody couldn't handle it. Shoulda.
Ripped.
So the Braves have first and third with 1 out. Rio Ruiz is the pinch hitter for the Braves.
Sink, slider.
Hit on the ground just wide of first. Xavier Avery pinch runs down to first. Good pitch by Addison Reed, tied up Ruiz.
Down and in slider out of the strike zone.
Hit hard, man. Look out, Terry Pendleton.
Hey, got him again.
No, that's not Terry.
Back, that's not Terry. Perez. First and third with one out. And a swinging strike number 3 for the second out here in the 8th inning.
Another slider? Yes, sir.
Good late life on that slider right there from Addison Reed. First appearance this afternoon for Chase Darno, brother of Travis Darno. Darno trying to make the Braves as a bench player, and there's his brother. See the resemblance at all, Keith, or no?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
No doubt.
Hits one in the air to left field. It's Patrick Biondi as it measured. So the Braves threaten, but the Mets lead at 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Our next picks telecast coming your way Saturday, April 15th, regular season action. The Mets go to take on the Miami Marlins. Coverage getting underway at 6:30 with the Spectrum pregame show right here on New York's very own home for baseball, Picks 11. Bottom of the 8th inning is Gene Cone leads it off for the Mets. De La Cruz remains on the mound for the Braves as Josh Smoker gets ready to pitch the 9th inning for the Mets. And Smoker's had a very good spring, looking to make this team as a lefty out of the bullpen. That's hit on the ground to shortstop. There's Chase Darno. He bobbles, picks it up, and not in time. That's going to be an E6.
It's just a very lazy error right here. One-handed all-star, didn't get in front. Just you can't do that. It's a routine ground ball. Good hustle down the line by Cone.
Not the sort of play you want to make when you're trying to make a ball club.
Yes, I wouldn't recommend it.
Matt Oberste his first at bat of the afternoon. Jeff Glenn, number 88, is waiting on deck. Mets going to play a split squad game tomorrow. Zach Wheeler is going to pitch down in Jupiter against the Marlins, and Seth Lugo is going to pitch here against the Washington Nationals.
Well, two big important starts for both those guys, both Lugo and Wheeler.
Then the Mets take on the Cardinals here on Tuesday, and then finish up against the Atlanta Braves at Disney on Wednesday. Then it's game here against the Las Vegas 51s on Thursday. Then up to New York, where they'll take on the Army on Friday at Citi Field and open the season on Monday, as we get a look at it right there. That game against Army was originally scheduled to be played at West Point, but because of the snow and the tough conditions, field really not up to it, so they've moved it to Citi Field. Two and one on Oberste as De La Cruz keeping Gene Cone close over at first.
Well, De La Cruz is a human rain delay out here. He takes forever to throw, and he can't find the plate.
He began last season at AAA Gwinnett and then made his major league debut with the Braves. Made 22 appearances, 9 of those were starts. Just to sort of drive home how young the Braves were and the way they were trying to build last year, they had 10 pitchers make their major league debut in 2016. Second most in team history, and tied for the second most in the majors. Only the Reds had more with 11. The A's also at 10. There goes Cone. He takes off, and he is out by a mile. I take it back. That was ball 4.
Don't worry about it, Gary.
Throw down. Not sure he knew either.
Boy.
Jeff Glenn spent last season with AAA Las Vegas, at least part of the season. It really is like 2 games. Play the first 5 or 6 innings, 6 or 7 innings with major leaguers. That one gets away, and the runners are going to move up. Cone goes to third, Oberste to second.
Well, De La Cruz is just all over the place.
Blake Lally is the new catcher, tried to keep it in front of him, could not do so. De La Cruz misses there, and the count goes to 2-1. Many of those who showed up here today are still here in the ballpark. Infield is in for the Braves. And that's in there for a called strike. Count evens. Evan Phillips getting ready in the Atlanta bullpen. As you can see, that Braves infield trying to cut down a potential 5th run for the Mets. Here's the 2-2. Misses outside. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That one fouled just. Oh boy. Oh, and almost a collision as that is a collision.
It's not the first baseman's ball.
Lally.
And that one. I'll concede that to the catcher. That's a catcher's ball.
And Tuiasa Sopo just in foul ground to the right of home.
What would Casey say right now? Does anybody know how to play this game? That's the catcher's ball. It's too close to home plate.
And he was calling for it.
He was calling for it, but it's a catcher's ball. Well, lucky no one got hurt.
Tuiasa Sopo coming pretty hard into Blake Lally, but both are okay for out number 1.
And infield still in.
Ty Kelly, his first at bat of the afternoon. Ty Kelly trying to make this Mets team despite the fact that he is not on the 40-man roster.
Well, he's versatile. Ty, he can play the infield positions, he can play the left field.
Hit hard into right field. That drops in. That's going to score 2. Gene Cohn scores. So does Matt Oberste as Ty Kelly slides into second base with a 2-run double, and the Mets extend their lead here to 6-2.
Down and in. Nicely done by Kelly. Right down the line, and that's the insurance run, and it's adios for De La Cruz.
We've got a pitching change as the Mets lead it now 6-2.
Get to Nissan.
Evan Phillips is the new pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. We get a look at his cumulative numbers. He pitched in both single and double A last season. TJ Rivera still sporting the golden locks, which became a signature for Team Puerto Rico. The World Baseball Classic. Rene Rivera also still has the gold hair. I asked him today how much longer he's going to keep it. He said until it grows out. He won't wash it back. Here's a look at that hair for Rivera.
I don't think you're going to get me to do that. I mean, I'll take one for the team, but that's going too far.
Is that not in his numbers at the WBC? Is that not in the contract for the product? Maybe they could go that direction.
That's true. I didn't think of that. That's my out.
And out to right field. And that one's going to drop in front of Avery. In comes Ty Kelly. Ball still loose out there, and TJ Rivera goes into third. So a triple for TJ Rivera, and the Mets put a 7th run on the board.
Just kind of pokes it out to right field. Goes with the ball away. And that's an E9 right there. So that should be a double and an error.
Not only did the ball get lost behind the garbage pail, but it was behind the chairs, the folding chairs out there as well. Not something you're going to see out at Citi Field or at the new SunTrust Park in Atlanta.
I'm looking forward to seeing the new ballpark. I wasn't a fan of Turner Field. I'm very curious at the dimensions, how the ball carries there, because that was one of the bigger parks in the National League. Of course, they had those great pitching staffs. They were going to cater to that. They weren't going to put those big four out there.
By the way, they have now sent TJ Rivera back to second base. They felt that the chairs and the garbage would make it a ground rule double. Brings up Luis Guillorme, his first at bat of the afternoon. Mets got 2 in the 5th inning, 2 more in the 7th, and they've got 3 up on the board here in the 8th. One of the highlights this spring happened with Guillorme in the dugout, Keith.
Yeah, this went viral, didn't it?
Look out.
Very nice.
Like ho-hum, another day in the park. Didn't flinch, didn't move.
You ever win a Gold Glove?
Everybody's scrambling for cover.
I hear you. And you could get hurt trying to catch that bat. I'm glad he didn't get hurt. But he had it all the way.
He looks like a different guy without the facial hair. Big story of the day here today, Matt Harvey. His 5th start of the spring, highly successful. 6 innings, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. 82 pitches in complete command. The fastball up into the mid-90s as Phillips walks Guillorme.
Well, no matter what, how fast the game goes, the first 6 innings or 7 innings, it always winds up over 3 hours. We get into the bullpens.
Ian Strom, number 91. And I think it's even exacerbated down here.
Well, here it's expected. You got a lot of kids that are pitching that are young, that are diamonds in the rough. But it does happen on the big league level. And there's the ground crew out there, the unsung heroes of the baseball season. Look at this.
That's hit into right center field for strong TJ Rivera. Around third, he's going to score, and the Mets extend the lead now to 8-2.
And what do they call them? The Met Mutts. They are having a nice day. Very nice.
Patrick Biondi. Luis Guillorme now down at third. And Ian Strom at first with 1 out.
That ball, wow. That went right by that woman. Oh, shoot, that skipped right by her. She didn't even know it. Not that one, another one. The pink hat, guys. She almost got clobbered.
Always got to stay awake here at the ballpark. That one hit almost identical. Just to the side of the tiki bar over there. Josh Smoker is still up and getting some work in the bullpen. He's going to pitch in the 9th inning for the Mets.
Oh boy. Just a tad outside.
Evan Phillips following De La Cruz, who had a little bit of trouble finding the plate. In there for a called strike 3. And out number 2, and Biondi didn't like it. And letting the home plate umpire Carlos Torres know about it.
Minor leaguer. Well, he has a case, but you know what? It's close to take. It's a 7-2 ball, 8-2 ball game.
Oh. Blake Taberry is the 9th batter of the inning for the Mets.
The 9th batter to come to plate this inning.
Takes a called strike 1. So when these two teams meet on Wednesday, Noah Syndergaard, it will be his turn, but he's not going to face the Braves. Certainly not on the road. He's going to make the opening day start against them, so he's going to pitch in a minor league game here in Port St. Lucie on Wednesday.
I believe DeGrom is going to pitch in a minor league game also.
Right.
We don't know the status of Steven Matz. Tender elbow.
Slice down and foul down the third base line. Eric Langel guarding his pitchers and catchers down there. You mentioned Steven Matz. That was one of the headlines of the morning as well. The fact that the general manager, Sandy Alderson, let us know that he's dealing Steven with a tender elbow and was going to pitch in a minor league game tomorrow. That's not going to happen. He's going to throw off flat ground tomorrow, see how he feels. At this moment, no MRI scheduled. Stevens saying that the doctors have assured him that there is no structural damage. But always concerned for a young man who's had Tommy John surgery before, which is what he had back. It's been a while now, in 2010, but a myriad injuries over the years. Last year he had the bone spur, had a shoulder issue, had the surgery to remove the bone spur. And that's what one of the prevailing thoughts that it could be, but certainly not going to speculate a result of that.
Four-run eighth inning for the Mets. It's kind of blew this game open.
Mets have runners at the corners with 2 outs, and Blake Taberry, I should say, at the plate. And he takes a called strike 3. So the Mets get 4 runs. We go to the 9th at 8-2. Goes to the hill as we go to the top of the 9th inning, getting set to make his 12th appearance this spring.
Looks like he's going to be going north with this club, having a nice spring. Be the second left-hander out of that bullpen.
Leading off pitching for the Braves, number 90, Lane Adams.
Lane Adams will lead it off here for Atlanta in the 9th. Smoker has been working on his changeup to right-handers this spring and falls behind 0-1, 1-0. Dialed that one up to 95 miles per hour.
Well, Smoker's going to come after you. He's got a big, strong guy with a great arm. Throws hard. He's not going to mess around. He hasn't got that mentality. He's going to go after you. He is not a nibbler.
First round pick of the Nationals back in 2007. So as you mentioned, he figures to be the second lefty in the bullpen along with Jerry Blevins. Question is, what's the status of Josh Edgin going to be? He's out of options. He's another lefty option,
which would give him a break, because if you send him down, he can get picked up.
Which I think the Mets are somewhat concerned about, hoping that he does regain the velocity coming back off Tommy John a couple of years ago. Swing and a miss. Adams goes down on strikes for the first out.
A little tardy. You know, I just get the sense this year that the Met front office and management feel that they've got a team to win, and they're going to go with the best 25 north.
Reed Harper, the batter for the Braves. So where does Rafael Montero fit in your mind? Because, man, he pitched really well yesterday.
I think he's got to go down there and show me he can do it down there.
5 scoreless innings against Atlanta yesterday. The issue with Montero has been, over the years, inability to command his pitches, and we've seen a little bit of a different Rafael Montero so far this spring. We'll see if they decide to carry another reliever.
I would think that they would side with Lugo. I mean, if Lugo's got a shot, another long inning, long relief guy, and you don't know with Matz, you can plug him into the rotation. We'll see.
Questions to be answered here over the final week of spring training. Count is 1-2 on Reed Harper. Barely stays alive. Adam Walker waits on deck.
Such a nice number.
Hit in the air out to center field. Strong for the second out. So the Braves are down to their final out. You're partial to 17.
Nice number.
Get a look.
Yeah. It's a very wise man. We're 1 out away.
Adam Walker, last chance here for the Braves.
Yeah. I like that shot.
That's a great shot. One of the classic strokes, batting strokes. I know you're sitting here, but is that natural?
No, I was taught that from the early age of my dad. The thousands. But I wonder how many swings I took my entire life. I wonder. Starting at 5.
Walker just stays alive. There has to be some natural instinct in there, though. As pure as that swing was. Ball and 2 strikes to Adam Walker from Josh Smoker. Here's the 1-2. And we'll do it again. Walker just gets a piece. Matt Harvey, as I mentioned earlier, going to get the start for the Mets in their exhibition game against Army at Citi Field on Friday. What's the discussion there, Keith? 2 outs and 2 strikes, top of the 9th inning in an 8-2 game. Just trying to work on.
I have no idea
what his pitch might be here.
I have over-exuberance from the catcher.
Walker backs out of the way. If he can keep it alive, David Freitas would be next. But that's not going to happen. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jock Smoker. A 1-2-3 9th inning. The Mets knock off the Atlanta Braves here at First Data Field by a final of 8-2.
Well, the hitting stars of the game here were all the young Mets. And also, though, from the ones that are going north. Jose Reyes, who's hasn't really caught fire, but now's the time. Tough spring. We've got 3 hits in today's game. Drove in a run, scored 2. I thought Matt Harvey threw terrific, Gary.
Best outing of the spring so far for Matt Harvey. Ended up throwing 82 pitches, 59 of those 4 strikes. 8-2, Mets get the win. We'll come back and wrap it up in just a moment.
Get to Nissan now.